All right, so again, thank you, good morning, and welcome to the first of our installments of the Piggyback pilot program for the Legacy traditional parents in Phoenix area. So we're excited to bring Piggyback, what we've done so far and what we've learned so far from our visit to the schools a couple of weeks ago. Quick introduction of our team. You'll find out very quickly. We've known each other going back over 20 years. We spent time together at Princeton University, played football. We're both electrical engineering majors and currently are in the IT fields. Myself out of Chicago, Donald's lately in Austin, Texas, but we've done some consulting, some software engineering work, and those technical backgrounds are kind of overshadowed by what we've done with schools, with volunteering, with myself. I'm the chair of our local school council in Chicago, which is sort of like the PTA, parent volunteers that help out, make sure the school teachers and principals are being supported, and we look over the budget, things like that. I've been the chair for the last 2 years. We volunteer in various different capacities, coaching, anytime there's something to do around the schools. And 4 years ago, we kind of put our heads together and said, you know, he's raising 3 kids in Austin. I have 3 with 4 on the way in June. Parenting and traveling and car shares and all these different ideas about trying to make sure our children get the same opportunities that we had with vehicle availability. We came up with this idea of Piggyback, of using technology to help parents identify other parents that they can carpool with and facilitate carpool organization, payment system, a reward system, a way to track how much is going on, and really encourage parents to take a look at us to save that time in the day. Donald, you want to say anything on the intro?
Yep, and I would just add, you know, as we've talked to different parents around the country about what transportation means to them, we're recognizing that each one of us has a different story. Isha's story is more about the distance of commute from home to school. My story was about getting different kids to different sports. And then as we continue to grow, we're talking with homeschool parents about going to different events at different times of the day. Or in the case of working with the Legacy traditional school system, the drive line, right? And the amount of time that people spend either dropping kids off or even more, what seems even more time draining is sitting in the drive line to pick up. And so as our story grows, we continue to hear more people's story. And I think that Piggyback Network as an idea is a solution that overlaps with so many different challenges that it's been pretty exciting these past few months.
Yep. So our agenda today, introducing who we are. We have an intro video, which is 90 seconds that we put together as sort of a marketing thing, explaining who we are. It's animated, so it catches a lot of people's eye. We have a live demo where Donald's going to walk through the website and show what the parents' interaction would be as they are signing up, offering a drive, requesting a ride, things like that. And then we're going to talk about our timeline for what we want to do with the Legacy school districts. That's Chandler, Glendale, as well as Surprise. All right.
For many parents, these days our car is our home away from home, as the busy schedule of the kid overlaps with the busy schedule of our day, and sprinkle in the needs of the household and perhaps even a chance to have a social life, there just aren't enough hours in the day. Piggyback offers a solution. A network of trustworthy and reliable parents who can help with your child transportation needs at an affordable price. We don't hire professional drivers. Our Piggyback parent members are our Piggyback drivers. First and foremost, Piggyback members go through extensive local and national criminal background checks. Once clear, Piggyback members identify their driving routes. This could be home to school or school to after-school activities, or after-school activities back home. Where one Piggyback member is requesting a ride, there are other members offering rides along that same route. Piggyback brings these parents together and gives them a chance to meet in person to see if they click. If both sides agree, they begin scheduling their rides. What could we all do with an extra afternoon free from driving? One less morning rush hour commute. Let's get to know our neighbors and build trust in the families around us. Let's ensure all children have an opportunity for the best schools and activities. Let's put the community back into your commute. Check out PiggyBack today.
So I always like to watch Donald's reaction to this video because we created this summer of last year, and he's seen it probably dozens of times, but he still gets excited. But this is a real company. We've got a video. So it's
I love this
funny.
video. It is my favorite. So we just like to show that because it gives a quick 90-second overview of what PiggyBack Network is trying to do and how we want to interact in the communities. I will do the demo here in a moment, but I'm wondering, Ish, do you think you want to talk through the timeline and then do the demo? Or do you want to do the demo and then come talk through this timeline and the next slide, which is our pilot demo?
Yeah, I think, this timeline of what we've done so far, the visits, this is just to indicate the 3 campuses that we've been working with. We met with the principals. Donald's actually volunteered helping some of the kids in and out of the car and kind of getting the feel for what the support staff does on a daily basis. And then we also got permission to, send the emails out, as I'm sure you all have received, as well as drop these paper handouts in the lobbies of each of the campuses. So you'll see your particular school there. There is the incentive with the Target gift card of $25 just for signing up and joining the PiggyBack group for your associated campus. And then there's another additional $75 gift card if parents are deciding to sign up to drive. There is a deadline on that of the end of April 30th. So we are trying to, extend some leeway to those parents who aren't able to make it to one of the first calls that we have. But we hope that the word will spread just for signing up that there's incentives of Target gift cards. So yeah, I think the full timeline we can get to after the demo.
Yep, and I would add, for people watching the recording, the QR code will take you to your specific landing page. So if you scan the QR code with your phone in this recording, it should work. And we hyperlinked this video to take us to the demo. So let's see if that works. It may, but then let's see. Just because it worked for me doesn't mean that it's sharing the right screen, right? What do you see?
No, we're good. Takes you to the landing page.
Okay, cool. All right. So what I'll do is just do a very quick demo of PiggyBack Network so that people are familiar with it. So this is the landing page from the cards that we handed out that give a little bit more information about the incentive. Each one is built for the 3 campuses that we have. But then once you come here, you can go to the home page if you like. And the homepage gives a little bit more detail, just some ideas around what PiggyBack Network is doing. The concept of the match, meet, and schedule, which is our 3 core concepts. Again, the video is available for review. There's a definition of what we're calling the route pool, which is the route-based way we match families with one another. And then if you're on your mobile device or on the desktop, plenty of these interactions can be clicked. And so I will go to locations first. I've pre-populated some of the information so that you don't watch me type, but ultimately PiggyBack Network is reliant on where we are and where we're going. So for example, our locations may include our home in Phoenix. We have a buddy who lives on East Tacoma Drive, so I use that address. And then I dropped in the addresses for Surprise, Chandler, and I thought I put one in there for Glendale, but maybe not. So after you fill in your locations and you're able to verify your address and submit the location, you'll see where you go and where you are. So for example, I may be at home and I usually go to school. Once you've completed that piece of information, we use those locations to build routes. It's our routes that give the origin and the destination. So for example, I can choose my home in Phoenix to school in Chandler. And so if I can name that route, I'll just put in test here. I'll display the route, right? And it will show what that route looks like to ensure that this is in fact the trip traversed. And ultimately those land into this table. So you can see that I have a handful: Chandler to home, Phoenix to home, Surprise home, home to Surprise, etc. And so it's my round trips where I would like to either originate or end. So once I have my locations and my routes, I'm able to offer to drive that route. And so PiggyBack Network is different from the traditional concept of the ride sharing. We are really focused on carpooling, and more specifically, not taking people out of their way. So the expectation is that when you match, you would match based on your route. And so because I want to go home to Chandler, right, then I'll say home to Chandler Monday through Friday, for example. And I'll be the one doing the driving because I'm offering this route. And we can go into detail about the drivers and the background checks. That will probably come a little bit later relative to time. And then let's just assume that I need to leave between 7:15 and 7:50. And I need to arrive between 8:15 and 8:30. I can choose the days of the week that I drive this trip. And so since I know that I already drive today, Monday through Fridays, I can offer someone those days. And then I can choose, what I have available. So in my own family, I have a handful of boys. So I would probably say that I only have access to one open seat, and that would be the seat belt. And I would submit that route. So now, if someone is requesting a ride that overlaps with any of the days and times and route that I am offering, then we would match. Similarly, I can click here to request a ride. And so when I make the request, I can also request the same route, home to Chandler. I can say that, I assume that I need someone to come pick the kids up. So I'll say, take kids to school. I know that they need to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I can say, if I want to request every day, or if I want to request only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I know for a fact that I'm traveling that direction Monday and Tuesday in any case, then I can choose just a handful of days. I can mention, okay, I personally have 1 in a booster and 2 that can use just seat belts. And then again, I can submit that route. And so in the background, the system will enable the matching to happen. And because we're based on community, and most importantly, the community of people that are going in your direction, if you know people who may benefit from putting in their locations and routes and then offering and requesting, you can submit their email address here as well, and they will get an invitation to come to PiggyBack Network. And so what we want to do is help parents manage the match process, but then ultimately choose who they will ride with after they've been matched, because a part of the process includes ensuring that once you've matched, you meet with the family that you've matched with to ensure that everyone agrees that this is a good match. And then when you start scheduling the rides, the schedules will be transacted through our platform as well. And so what we want to ensure is that people are able to find others without solely relying on only their small network, but also not be overburdened with the idea of scheduling, changing ideas. And we know that families in general have a very dynamic lifestyle. And so we don't want there to be an experience where people feel locked in. And so everything is very flexible, built the way our lives are actually managed, as opposed to building a more structured, locked in approach. So with that, I will pause here. And as I mentioned, we are open and available to help people walk through the process individually as necessary. But we think that with the location, route, offer and request process, that gets the ball rolling for the majority of folks.
I want to touch on one more page after that,
Okay.
just real quickly.
Yep.
Once the matches happen, as McDonald mentioned, where the families would meet in person and approve and say, hey, yes, we like this family, we like that family, then the dirty work really starts, and that's the scheduling piece. So what I want to do is just show a quick.
So do you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, stop sharing. I'm just going to show the scheduling piece real quick, and then we'll jump to the questions. So once you've agreed, you've put in your days of the week, they've put in their days of the week, you guys overlap, let's say it's on a Wednesday. The system would have a scheduling rides page where you would be able to say, you know, this is the route that I want. It's possible to have multiple drivers match with your route, and it's also possible to be a driver that matches with multiple requests. So we want to make sure you can select exactly the match that you're talking, and then we're going to plug in the day of the week that we're talking about. So if you agree to Wednesdays, then let's say this particular Wednesday, you know you're going to need a ride, and you're going to be able to submit that request so that Bradley can get a notification on his side that the trip date of the 20th is something that you're requesting. And then on their side, they're going to see a notification that's basically saying there's been this request, we've got to respond to it. Can you accept it, or will you not be able to do it? And we're encouraging members to get that out, you know, as early as they know, as soon as possible, because we know sometimes we need a backup plan to the original schedule that we had. And we're trying not to have it be last minute, you know, 2 hours before the trip, I need to make a request. Because it's, you know, life, we need to plan it. So, all right. So bring up
So I'll go back.
the,
What was I sharing?
bring up the timeline.
Yeah, now I don't know. It's okay. I jump back and forth. Hold on.
Yeah, that was it. That was the other, you had the Canva open, the first tab.
Do you see it?
Yeah, the first tab.
Okay, got it. Sorry. Okay. You see it now?
Yeah, we're back up.
Okay, got it.
So going back to how we started with Legacy, we visited the week of March 29th to 31st. That part's happened. We're now into the point where the principals have sent the 3 messages out to the families, and we're starting to host these info sessions. So this is the first of them. We've got, I believe, 3 more sessions, and we're trying to just catch as many parents as possible, field as many questions. And then we want to start facilitating the signups, and we're here, our emails are available. There's a 844 number, toll-free number on the website that everyone can dial into if they have any particular issues with entering the data or questions. And we really want to get those families that are familiar with it to just spread the word and say, hey, look, this works best when the network is full of parents that are willing to work with us and take advantage of those incentives. Even if it's just to get the incentives, we don't mind. The process to match, we're anticipating it's going to take a number of days for the families to get their schedules together, when they're available to meet, if it's a lunch thing, if it's a dinner thing. We know life gets busy, so we've allowed a couple of weeks for the matching, April 8th to the 24th, as well as the background checks for those parents that are offering to drive. So that's a crucial thing. We've got about a 3 to 4 business day turnaround on our background check processes. And then the April 16th to May 10th, that's when we expect those families to say on both sides, yes, we agree. The Smith family is going to ride with the Johnson family. And then by April 18th, we have families beginning those initial drives and actually riding with each other. So that's our roadmap. It's not locked in stone, and it's something that we're here to support all 3 locations as we move forward. And we just wanted to share that with the parents on the call. So that's it from our side. If there are questions, we are available for you. And I see we got another parent. Thanks for calling in. I don't know if it's Jagath. No questions either means that we did a very great job, or everyone's multitasking and can't find the window that the volume's coming out of to unmute themselves.
I'll seed a question for you, Ish. What do you think is the best way for us to encourage our friends, classmates, and other peers to also sign up for PiggyBack Network?
Sure. So as Donald mentioned in the beginning, we started this with our own personal pain points. And I think the collective benefit to parents at the same school that have been working in the same system for a year plus, you guys know what the pain points are. So if it's, I just want to take a Tuesday afternoon off, if it's my car can't idle that long in the drive line, if it's I really have other things I need to do, but I don't have the time to get in there, then we think those are the best ways to open up about what the benefits of a carpool are. And also we're starting up. We're a startup company that's definitely taking the feedback of parents as they go through the process. So we want to grow with you. If there's features out there that we could add to this, if there's benefits that we could tweak, we want to hear what makes the system work best for your individual situation. And then as we move on to other pilots in other states and other school districts, we would have taken that experience and built our platform out a bit stronger.
I also heard someone mention that there's the potential for a piggyback specific drive line for pickups. Do you know how we might be able to encourage our administrators to consider that idea more thoughtfully?
Certainly. I think the data is going to help. We have the numbers on how many cars go through each of the drive lines on a daily basis. And if we could show that using Piggyback, we've got another, let's say, 50 to 100 cars that are picking up multiple families, I think we could use that to argue we could incentivize those families that are doing pickups by having a shorter or non-weight line, and they could go to maybe the orange line and pick up their child, and the other families would be incentivized to look into at least joining up and becoming a member and getting that special driveline color. It's something that when we talked about, it seemed like a good thing on the administration side. It's taking cars out of the driveline ultimately and just giving those parents a sense of combined community.
Awesome. Those are all the questions I had. We also want to make sure that we are being respectful of everyone's time. So I see that I'm Central Time, so it's 1:58 Central here. I imagine 11:58 Arizona time. If there are no other questions, we can sign out here. But you have our contact info. There's emails that have gone out, as Ish mentioned. The telephone numbers on the website, and we have direct lines of communication with the principals at Surprise, Glendale, and Chandler, as well as a handful of administrators with the Vertex organization. So we are readily available to answer questions, and actually ask questions as well for follow-up and feedback. But we just want to say thank you very much for giving us some of your morning on a busy Saturday. And we hope to hear from you.
Thank you so much. This is like brilliant. I really hope it takes off in Chandler. So I'll be planting seeds where I can.
That's the plan. We appreciate it. I'm gonna go plant this 3-year-old down in bed right now and see if I can quiet him down. I appreciate the time, and we'll talk to the next group soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you all.